it bounces back and it feels, can you see if it actually, I can feel the firmness underneath it. The middle bit will always be the last bit to, so the center section will always be the last bit to cook. So that sometimes will be a little bit soft if you push it, and now that's quite firm. So we're just going to put them out onto cooling racks. And then I'm going to allow them to cool for about half an hour, and then I will come back and decorate. Okay, so we're going to start with, my favourite tool in the kitchen is an offset palette knife, because you can do so many things with it. But just get a sharp, thin knife, and you're just going to push around the edges. Allow the cakes to cool for about 5 minutes before you try this, to be honest, because as they cool, they will start to pull away from the edges of the tins slightly. Now, these have literally just come out, so I'm going to do them straight away. But if you leave your cakes out of the oven 5-10 minutes, they will start to pull away from the side, so it will make it easier anyway. Okay, now I'll say I use loose bottom tins. The reason I use loose bottom tins is because I used to own a wedding cake company to do celebration cakes. I used to not like lines on top of my cakes, so it's easier to push them from underneath rather than turn them out. But let's do that. Let's turn them out. So you will see what happens. So when you turn them out and say, I've got a loose bottom on mine, so I'm just going to take that loose bottom off. I'm going to slip a palette knife in underneath and just take that loose bottom off. And there you go. And turn it over. And if you leave it upside down, you're going to get that grid mark on the top, which there's nothing wrong with it. It's just aesthetically, when you own a shop, when you own a cake shop or a cake company, you don't want to see those marks on it. I'm going to leave the paper on the bottom for the minute, and I will take the paper off. But you can see, yeah, I've just left the paper on there for the bottom for the minute. I have got asbestos fingers. I have been making cakes for a long time. Therefore, I can touch really, really hot stuff without anyone noticing. But please be careful, and please use tea towels or whatever you need to use. I'll make sure that's completely. Turn that over. Oh, that is quite hot, that one. Can't get that one out. Oh, no, the cake came out, the bottom didn't. Look at that. The cake came apart, but the bottom didn't. And that's what you want. You want the cake falling out, really, more than the thing falling apart. So we're going to leave them for half an hour just to cool down. But can you see they are slightly domed? You see what I was talking about? There is a dome on them, which is fine. We're going to leave the dome on one of them, on the top one, and we'll cut the dome off on the other one. Baker's delight, isn't it? You get an extra bit of cake. But come back in half an hour and we'll finish them off.